All right, Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Akakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect. Tabernacle of David, to the Aqua that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, 144,000, one third, the hopeful elect of Israel. All right. I'm the brother Yahshua, back with the World War III Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. Joel 3. All right, things are, I'm going to let Dina here give the update, but I'm going to start right here, Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim this among the nations, and this is what we're seeing on a large level, on a world level. All right, prepare for war, rouse the mighty men, let all the men of war advance and attack. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Come quickly, all you surrounding nations, and gather yourselves. Okay. And then this part, bring down your mighty ones, O Lord, that comes after in the middle of World War III, for that matter. Because they're going to stop fighting each other, and a different fight is going to start. So anyway, let's see what Dina has to say. Come on, Dina. This is Slovakia, drop my phone. Dina Amelia Calmetta channel. And let's see, 2 days ago. So what we'll be able to do, because it was two days ago, we can stop that and say, okay, well, what's happened in the last 2 days, right? Basically, this is the alley-oop right here. When you see what she said 2 days ago and you see what has transpired in the last 2 days, and you understand how fast this thing is going. Anyway, let's see what she has to say. Okay, this was right around what they call New Year's, apparently. Take it away, Dina.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Dina Calmetta here with CWW7 News. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season. But for today's show, I wanted to bring you guys a update in regards to some things that have been happening with Russia, North Korea, China, Israel, the United States, Iran. So much has happened in the last few days that I'd like to share with you.
Now that right there, okay, all the names that she named and said, so much has happened in the last few days, she's letting you know how quickly things are transpiring. Okay? Now, if this was 2 days ago and you know what has gone on in the last 2 days, assassinations, and, hey, things are spiraling out of control really quick. All right, so.
And I'd like to start with Russia in this report from Newsweek. It's being reported that apparently a Russian state TV host has issued an ominous warning to the United States. He's nicknamed Putin's voice due to his ideological conformity with the Kremlin. And he has said that there are no good scenarios for Moscow's relationship with the U.S., except for those written by the winner's army. He went on to support the Russian president in his ongoing invasion of Ukraine and made comments on Friday stating that certainly what is happening is extremely complicated. The U.S. has suddenly realized that their situation has become different, that the new players are not going to accept certain rules of the game. But even if something does not work out, the Americans, he said, still act consistently. Their icebreaker does not change its course. So don't think that something will change after the elections in America. There are no good scenarios for us there, except those that we will write ourselves. And they will be written by the winner's army. So those are definitely some fighting words coming out of Russia.
How about that? Okay. Going along with what's going on today is the rhetoric has gone up. If you watch the video I just made, I believe it goes into, what the Russian people are calling for, right? And it's huge. These things are happening right now.
But here in another report, apparently Putin has named Russia's real enemies. During his address on Monday, he stated that Ukraine is a mere tool in the hands of the collective West, which has been using it to fight Russia. Asked about the endearing Western support for Kyiv, the Russian president said that the elites of the collective West were actually the true enemy of Russia, rather than Ukraine itself. He went on to state that the point is not that they are helping our enemy, but that they are our enemy. They are solving their own problems with Ukraine's hands, and that's what it's all about. He went on to state that the conflict between Moscow and Ukraine was orchestrated by Western elites who seek to defeat Russia. However, the collective West has been unable to achieve its goals.
Can you see the energy level rising? The energy being given to the war is rising.
Failure already showing in the change of its rhetoric on the conflict. We want to end the conflict, and as quickly as possible, but only on our terms. We have no desire to fight forever, but we are not going to give up our positions either. Now, with that said, just a couple of days ago, a Russian official blamed the UK and the United States, both members of NATO, for Ukrainian strikes on Belgorod. Moscow said that 14 people, including 2 children, have been killed and over 100 more were injured after Ukraine launched strikes on the region. The Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman told
I'm going to skip that up real quick.
Prepare for conflict in a New Year's speech. The leader warned that war could break out at any time with South Korea, while lashing out at the U.S., accusing the country of posing various forms of military threat. Washington in December deployed a nuclear-powered submarine in the South Korean port city of Busan and flew its long-range bombers in drills with South Korea and Japan in an effort to deter North Korea. The North has described the deployment of Washington's strategic weapons as B-52 bombers in joint drills in the Korean Peninsula as an intentional nuclear war provocative moves. He vowed to launch 3 new satellites in 2024, build more military drones, and boost its nuclear arsenal, which analysts estimate could already include 20 to 60 warheads, if not more. According to the state news agency KCNA, he went on to state that because of reckless moves by the enemies to invade us, it is a faint accomplishment that a war can break out at any time on the Korean Peninsula. The grave situation, he went on to state, requires us to accelerate work to acquire overwhelming war response capabilities and thorough and perfect military readiness to suppress any types of provocations by the enemies at a stroke.
This was 2 days ago, and his rhetoric has, whether it's rhetoric or not, what he's saying has escalated in the last 2 days, okay, to direct threats, okay. Let's see, fresh threats of nuclear war. In the last 2 days, you got to go back and see what he said last time.
On to order the military to prepare to pacify the entire territory of South Korea, including with nuclear bombs, if necessary, in response to any attack. Now, finally, it reports that Kim's speech comes ahead of a year that will see pivotal elections in both South Korea and the U.S. Experts predict that North Korea will maintain a campaign of military pressure for leverage around the U.S. presidential elections in November. And North Korea might be waiting on the U.S. presidential election to see what its provocations can buy with the next administration. So very interesting news in regards to North Korea.
Let me see when this was actually posted. Okay, so it says 2 days ago, but is that 2023 or 2024 is my point. And from the moment, whatever they call the new year came in, things were on and cracking. So where are we now as opposed to 2 days ago? And it sounds crazy, but very significant at this moment. Right, because things are spiraling completely out of control. I mean, what else does Dina have here? Okay, there's Kim. Okay, let me see. Let's get to right here. Let me see.
Become very close with Russia and Iran, and he's got China's backing. And with the relationship between China, the United States, Iran, the U.S., and Russia and the U.S., it's very shaky right now. And speaking of China, the Chinese president gave his own speech for New Year's. And apparently, the Chinese leader promised the reunification of Taiwan with mainland China. He went on to state in his address, all Chinese on both sides of the Taiwan Strait should be bound by a common sense of purpose and share in the glory of the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. The motherland will surely be reunified. The speech was the second time in a matter of days that the Chinese president addressed the Taiwan issue. He also vowed to reunify Taiwan on Tuesday. He went on to state then that the complete reunification of the motherland is an irresistible trend. He also added that
with this, what is Esau about to do? Esau loves a good Esau loves a good fight, whether he wins or loses. Just that's what he's about. Stroke of midnight. What is this? Hamas attacks Israel with heavy New Year rocket barrage. That's crazy. That's crazy. So anyway, let me see. I do want to see that. It's hilarious.
Terrorism. While 129 Israelis are still being held captive by Hamas in Gaza, Hamas also decided to start 2024 by launching a barrage of rockets at Israel. There is no Happy New Year until they are all home. The Israeli embassy to the U.S. also commented, posting a video of rockets being fired out of the Gaza Strip. These are not midnight fireworks, but a Hamas rocket attack at Israelis, trying to bring in the new year happily. The report goes on to read that the IDF's ground operation in recent weeks has led to a significant decline in the number of rockets launched from Gaza at Israel. The midnight rocket barrage was the first rocket fire at the center of the country in a week and a half. In the meantime, ABC News reported that the U.S. Gerald Ford aircraft carrier strike group will depart the region after 3 deployment extensions since the start of the Israeli-Hamas war on October 7th. According to the report, the group will return to its home port in Virginia to prepare for future deployment. One of the U.S. officials, cited by the news network, stressed that even with the departure of the strike group, the U.S. will maintain a lot of military capability in the region.
What does that mean? It means the Americans are pulling back. See that? Anyway, so there's your update. You know, more of the same, but I mean, I'm sure she had some more in these other theaters, right? Or battles, if you will. But, you know, now, question again. If this was 2 days ago, right, where are we now? How fast are these things coming, right, to fruition? Let's get one on the way out. Let me see. Habakkuk, right? Two. Yes, two. Let's see. Read the King James here. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. We are watching it go down. Okay? We're watching it go down. We see what's going on. What does this say? World fears WW3, right? This is her title, right? We didn't even read the title. World fears World War III in 2024 as tensions heat up with Israel. With who? With Israel, Iran, U.S., NATO, Russia, China, blah, 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 with everybody. Right? That's her title. And then she goes in. So go watch Dina, right? That's her latest one. I saw it. I'm like, okay, I'll work with that. So we hope that the elect were edified. Did I get what I was going? Yeah. Let's go back. The vision is happening. We're in the appointed time. What appointed time? At the end. It's speaking and not lying. It's jumping off the page. If you watch the video I did right before this, right, you'll understand if Russia is saying we gotta, strike and, what does that mean? They're talking about ICBM. When Russia's talking about striking America, they're not talking about a helicopter group. All right, so that's how close we are. And the Most High is forcing everybody's hand. All right, so with that, we hope the elector edify you, brothers and sisters. With that, shalom.